Hello, in this video, I'm going to show a real end-to-end use case of how the system is actually used in business environments and business workflows. Up until now, you have surely seen the concepts of subagents, tools, skills, memories, guardrails, and integrations, etc. in isolation. Now I'm going to demonstrate how all of this comes together in our system. I'll be using a simple prompt where the user wants the system to understand their new product specifications, company context, ICP, and compliance requirements. And using that, I want the system to create a new agent that will be role specific to the user's requirement, and it will deliver an outreach email for the new product. The goal of the demo is simple: how a product or growth team can go from internal documents to a compliant HDR workflow in minutes without manual setup or back and forth, simply using a single natural language prompt. So here is the query that I'll be giving to the system, where I'm mentioning that I want the agent to understand my new feature specification, company profile, ICP, and compliance information. And I've attached the documents for each of that. And based on that understanding, I want the agent to create a new HDR agent with compliance-based guardrails. And I wanted to use that agent to do competitive research and create an outreach email template for me. And for simplicity, I have mentioned that don't ask any questions and use planning. So the generalist agent will first understand the intent of my query, and based on that intent, it will create a 4-step plan. So each step of the plan is that first it will analyze all the business documents that are given, then using that it will create an HDR agent with compliance guardrails, and then it will use that agent to conduct comparative research and then generate email templates. So once the plan is created, it will start executing each step of the plan. First step being understanding the documents. So one by one, it has comprehended all 4 documents. Once it is done, it will mark it as completed in its plan and move on to the next step in the plan, which is creating the HDR agent with compliance guardrails. So using the information gathered in the first step of the plan, it will use its agent creator tool to create the Arcline HDR agent. This agent is specifically built using the documents that I had provided. So it has been tailored to our requirements. And you can see the parameters of the agent. Now we are also adding the guardrails for the agent, since we mentioned. And now agent with the requested guardrails has been created, so it will mark it as completed and move on to the next step, where it wants the agent to gather competitive market research. So generalist agent will delegate this task to the newly created HDR agent. Now the HDR agent will use the search engine tool to do the market research. Now in this step, the Arcline HDR agent feels that it does not have the specific information that it wants. So it will do multiple iterations and attempts of the search engine tool until it feels that it has the perfect and particular information that it needs. So it keeps doing multiple attempts of search engine tool and then gathers the perfect information. And once it feels that it has the information that was needed, it compiles a executive market research summary, which you can see is very detailed and comprehensive. Now the Arcline HDR agent has finished his task. Now the generalist agent decides that okay, the HDR agent has delivered what was required, and it will mark it as completed in the plan and move on to the last step, which is generating outreach email templates. So now again, it will dedicate this final item to the Arcline HDR agent, and it will instruct it to generate email templates as required. So once again, the Arcline HDR agent is in action, and it will generate the email templates as requested. Now the generalist agent has concluded that the entire plan has been completed successfully, and it will give its final response to the user. Here is a summary of the entire plan that was executed and successfully created a new agent, got the market research done, and created email templates using that agent. Now I want the agent to send me these email templates via email to my coworker. So I'll just mention his email and the system will send it to him via email. So I have actually connected the Composer MCP tools. So using that, the Generalist agent will be able to send an email. So first it discovers that it has the Composer MCP tools, and from that it was to use the Gmail send the email tool specifically. So it will understand its schema and write the email accordingly. Here it has written the entire HTML script for the email that is required. And now it is using the Composer Gmail tool, and we can see that the email was sent successfully. So the Gmail was sent to the user successfully, and the contents that were delivered are also mentioned. So this is how our entire flow, like we requested, was executed, and at the end the results were sent to a coworker using the Gmail MCP tool. So this is how you can use the Generalist agent to execute your day-to-day tasks and even implement complex workflows using just a simple natural language prompt. And the details of the workflow you mentioned will always be followed and executed accordingly. Thank you.